Well, good Saturday morning and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Hopefully, your Saturday is off to a nice start. Sunshine here in the Midland, Michigan area, but I do believe that's not going to last very long. Looking at the forecast, looks like we've got some rain incoming through the day today. So let's say hi. A couple here, and good morning, Mr. Trumbull. How are you? Thank you for being here, Mr. Clary, as well. Pat, good morning. And Betty says good morning from Toledo. So good morning to the south end of things there as well. So big week this week. The Record Store Day list was announced, and we will get into that and talk a little bit more about how that is going to work as well. And some new releases to cover and a quick announcement about a previous record show subject as well. Alicia says good morning, and good morning to you as well. Robin, and she is still listening to an album from yesterday. She picked up some great blues. Thank you for being here, Robin, and thank you for picking that Brit Blues album up as well. Okay, couple of quick updates, and let me see if I can get to my stuff here. I'm trying something new, folks. Are you ready for this? Quick update on Andy Dalton. Some of you who have caught our record show past Wednesday, a couple of Wednesdays back, actually, we talked with Andy, artist out of the mid-Michigan area here, who is undertaken a very, very large project to press an album on vinyl, and he did some crowdfunding to reach that, and that was going on throughout the month of March. And that has ended, and wanted to pass along the update for those of you who were curious that Andy did meet his crowdfunding goal, so the album will be pressed. So congrats to Andy, and I'm sure he says thank you to all of you who gave or possibly kicked in for that album. I did check with him, by the way. We will do our best to have a couple of copies of that vinyl from Andy Dalton, The Fireside Wake, in store later this year when he gets that pressed. It looked like from our conversation, it looks like it's going to be probably in the December timeframe before we get that on vinyl. But some great stuff from Andy, and we are looking forward to having that here in the store. Speaking of looking forward to having stuff in the store, last week we talked with Steve Brown from Rushfest Scotland on the record show about the Neil Peart Tributes album. And I have a copy, my personal copy here with me as well. And Steve announced that they would be utilizing us here, Radio Wasteland, as kind of a stateside shipping portal for those who order from him on their Rushfest Scotland website. It's not .com, it's rushfestscotland.co.uk. We'll have the link up regardless, but if you search for it, you can find that. It's a phenomenal album. We played a couple clips, and we had a long conversation with Steve last Wednesday on the record show. You get a chance, back up and check that out on our YouTube channel as well. But so what's going to happen is that if you order directly from the Rushfest Scotland website, we will ship it from here stateside. Now, here's the other good news. We're going to have a limited number of copies in store to sell outright to those of you who wish to pick one up. Still working out the pricing details on that, but we're going to get a shipment from Scotland. As a terrible accent. I'm sorry, Steve, if you catch this. I didn't mean to kick that in there, but we're going to get some copies in store to sell, and we will be shipping stateside because it's a lot easier for us to ship to the U.S. from within the U.S. So we will get that out and about. So stay tuned for more info on that. If you're curious, check out the record show. Finally, the update. Record Store Day drops 21. Essentially Record Store Day 2021, but split up into two, June 12th and July 17th. For those of you who have not heard yet, the list was announced Wednesday of this week for your general perusal, and let the discussions begin on what is and what should have been and what is there and should not have been. Never going to make everybody happy with the Record Store Day list, myself included, but it's there and we can start checking out. So for those of you who are interested in procuring Record Store Day exclusives on either June 12th or July 17th, well, we are going to cover that on this coming Wednesday's record show. The short thing of this is, if you're unfamiliar with Record Store Day, You can't really order, we can't hold, but we can request all sorts of copies, and then it's up to you to decide how to get them. But if you tune into our record show Wednesday night around 7 o'clock, Heather and I are going to go over the list a little more in depth, and we're going to talk a little bit about the process of Record Store Day for those who may be unfamiliar, the uninitiated, so to speak. And I'll tell you what, Record Store Day pre-pandemic was just always a blast. We're going to do our best to work our way back to that blastness. That's not a word, but it is now in the days to come. So stick around for that. We will talk about Record Store Day. But one final note, for those of you that are familiar with Record Store Day, our orders are due next week. So by Wednesday night, and I'm going to kind of slide that deadline into Wednesday evening, since we're going to talk about this on Wednesday on the record show. But the deadline for our orders are going to be Wednesday night. I've got to turn them in first thing Thursday morning. Now, you can place your orders with us. I say orders, and I'm using my air quotes on that. It's a wish list. So you put your wish list in. We order them if we can. We'll get what we get, and then it's up to you to make sure you get here to get them, and hopefully we have enough copies of them. But the post for the Record Store Day wish lists, not orders, is pinned at the top of our Facebook page. All you need to do is comment on that. We will log your information in, not sell it or anything. It's basically just your name and the items you're hoping to get. We'll kick that in, and we use that when we place our orders to see where the demand lies. So we'll try to get as many of the copies that you guys are asking for in time for the drop. So head to our Facebook page, look for that post pinned at the top, comment on it with what you'd like. We'll get that information put in for our orders for next week. When you see a like from our store, from Radio Wasteland, on your comment, that means that we have got it, and we put that info in. So when you see the like on there, we're good to go. All right, so how is that? We got a few more comments. Let's see who else is saying hi from out there today. Joe from Bay City, good morning and hi there. Rob is saying hi, as well as Mr. Bales. Steve, good morning to you as well. And John says hey, and Ann is here as well. Happy Saturday. See us soon. Kevin, do they publish the prices of the RSD releases? No, they do not, but we will cover that. I'll try to do a little bit of on Wednesday, but as the drops get closer, especially with the first drop, we do live the night before to show what we have in the store. It'll be live just like this, where we'll cover everything we've got in stock for the Record Store Day drops. If you have a question about a specific item, like Kevin is, we will get that to you, and Kevin, I'll message you with that. The 6 LP Grateful Dead set will be a little pricey, as most box sets tends to be, but I will get you the suggested retail price on that in a private message. But if you guys have any questions, just ask. That's all you got to do is ask. Good morning, Kristen. Thank you for being here, as well as Mary from Vassar saying hi from the east side. Thanks again for being here. Okay, so much more to come on the Record Store Day drops. As I say, stay tuned. The Wednesday record show, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications so you'll know when we're on and doing that. But we will talk more in depth on the record show. We've got a longer format there about the releases, and we'll highlight a few of the things we think are going to be huge and maybe the things that we're looking for. But speaking of releases, this week we've got a few goodies in the store, and there were some big new releases this week. We've got a few left. The Ariana Grande, the new one, Positions. This one is on clear vinyl. We've got a couple of those left in the store, released yesterday. Sid Vicious, a picture disc. That reminds me. Okay, sidetrack. This is me this morning, brain-wise. When you're looking at the Record Store Day list, and we'll cover this Wednesday as well. I need another haircut already, don't I? Holy cow. Make sure you look carefully at the descriptions if you're on the Record Store Day website at recordstoreday.com, because there are a lot of picture discs peppered in, and there are a lot of 12-inch singles and 7-inch singles. So don't think that you're putting in or you're hoping to get an album, because it could very well be a picture disc and a single picture disc. So we'll cover that on Wednesday. All the more reason for you guys to watch Wednesday night. So back to this week's Sid Vicious Love Kills picture disc. It is a full LP with a lot of Sid stuff on there and some cool imagery as well. The Back to the Future soundtrack, not as cool as the Mondo from last year, but it is a neat reissue with The Power of Love from Huey on there, and it is the full soundtrack music from, and that includes Johnny B. Good as performed by Marty McFly. Hello. All right. Speaking of movies, this is not the movie soundtrack, so don't get too confused on that. This is the London Philharmonic version of Tommy, if I can get the light out of there, featuring members of The Who, but lots of other folks as well. This is the Tommy music from Tommy performed by the London Symphony Orchestra and Chamber Choir with guests in order of appearance. Pete Townsend, Sandy Denny's on here, Graham Bell, Steve Winwood, Richie Havens, Roger Daltrey and John Entwistle, Ringo Starr, Rod Stewart, and Richard Harris. Written, though, by Pete Townsend on dual silver vinyl, made to look like pinballs, I would assume. So check it out. Recent release from Ozzy, reissue of Blizzard on silver vinyl with red swirls. We got one of these left. The Grand Funk stuff continues, and we will have Mark Farner on the record show on an upcoming Wednesday. His release got delayed, by the way, that DVD. We talked about that last week, but that is upcoming, so stay tuned for more information on that. But in the meantime, an audiophile release of the Grand Funk Mark, Don, and Mel, their stuff from 1969 through 71, which followed up the previous week's audiophile release of Grand Funk Live on red vinyl. So a couple of cool releases from Michigan's own. All right, confession here. Somebody had asked me to get this. It didn't get written down. I don't know if it was an official order or what this is. I'm going to say it wrong. Pussifer or Pussifer. Existential Reckoning is the name of the album. If you ordered this, we have it. If you didn't and you want it, come get it, and we'll figure out who and get them another one as well. So, okay, a triple Eagles back in stock. We had the 3 Eagles albums, the live ones, released a couple weeks ago, rather. And we've got all 3 back in stock. Eagles Live, the Eagles Millennium Concert, and the Long Road Out of Eden. So we have a copy of all 3 of those back in. Sturgill Simpson, by the way, the Cutting Grass Volume 2. We still have copies of the exclusive blue vinyl, some very, very cool sounding bluegrass from Sturgill. We did get a reissue of modern meta-modern sounds in country music. So if you're a Sturgill fan, we do have a copy of that going back. A couple of Childish Gambinos. By the way, the back orders and backlog of the vinyl reissues is starting to shake loose. So we're excited about that. But we do have a copy of Because the Internet and Awaken My Love from Mr. Glover in stock as well. That includes some Floyd. For those of you that have been waiting to get a copy of either Dark Side or The Wall, we will have some reissues, and the real nice sounding ones next week here at the store. They have finally become available. Also, we've got some copies finally of the Weezer Blue album. This was released a little while ago, and we didn't get our copy, but it showed up. It's the anniversary edition of the Fine Young Cannibals remastered on white vinyl for the first time since the original release. So some cool stuff from Britain's own FYC. And finally, we talked about Steven Wilson a while ago. Go like this. There we go. This is the Steven Wilson remix of King Crimson's Court of the Crimson King. Phenomenal sounding record for those of you who would like to get into Crimson and you can't find a pricier copy of the original. We do have that. A couple of other good mornings here, as well as Mike saying hi from Mount Pleasant. Yeah, do stop by, please, and come say hi as well. Some CD. Yep, there are some CDs in the Record Store Day stuff, Pat, as well as we're going to talk about this on Wednesday, a cassette box set on Record Store Day. Okay, what's this world coming to? Good morning from the foggy UP. Mom, how are you? Jeff Cart says morning from the east side over Bay City Way, and the west side. You guys are all over the place. Rick says howdy from that side. Thank you guys for being here. All right, looks like I am just about up on time on this, and we're going to get on with our day as Denzel Morgan Freeheart. Hey, man, drop this track. Thanks, Denzel. Okay. No, I don't know how to work that. We'll make it. Okay, there it is. He sent a sound bar. We'll check it out unless you're spam. In that case, you can say goodbye. Mike, good morning. And Felipe, we are all the way down in Brazil. Felipe, I got to send you a message about the Record Store Day stuff. I did get your message, so we will send some info your way on that as well. And good morning from Australia. There we go, Denzel. Okay, you are saying hi from way over there. So we are getting a worldwide audience. You guys are, that is way cool. Thank you so much for being here as well. All right, so looking at the time, I am going to get the store opened up. We physically are open now until 6 p.m. this evening. We are at 716 George Street, just north of downtown Midland. Enjoy the morning. When it starts to rain, come on in. Dry in here. We'll have some tunes spinning all day, and you can crate dig to your heart's content. Tomorrow's Sunday, by the way. The Wasteland will be open as normal from 12 noon until 5 p.m. For those of you who are missing our canine companion greeters here, the dude will be in store tomorrow with me, kind of hanging out. For those that wish to stop by and say, hey, we'll put him in a picture to remind you then as well. But in the meantime, we would ask that you guys hit that subscribe button if you're looking at us on YouTube. If you like us on Facebook, all the better. Please do so. For those of you on Twitch, I will try to play some more games or something. We'll figure out something next week for you there. So we'll take things as it are. So hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out our Wednesday show for the Record Store Day preview, where we will talk about the releases and the process of. So in the meantime, you guys have a great Saturday, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. The dude, yes, Ann. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks.